Yeah,
right?
that would be, yes,
in the U.S.
yes,
system.
Yes. So here you can choose, I want to do this more deeper, so you take this class,
Right.
and then I want to aim it on more practical things, and then you take the, the easier math.
How often do you give tests in here?
We have, periodic system, 6 periods, and after each period we have the main test, and that ends the course, then the people take other courses after that. But so that's one big exam. But then I have short tests, about 3.
Like only 3 for the whole
for
semester?
Period, yeah. No, not the semester. Period. So like the whole year is divided in 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Each one's considered a period.
Yes.
Okay.
So 6 periods, and one course is in 1 period.
So you have about 3 tests per period.
Yeah, the short ones, really short ones.
So-
They just think it's multi and answer.
So their grades are basically based on a few tests for the period.
And the big one in the end.
So you don't give homework, so it's not graded on homework.
Well, we have the kind of they can get extra points in their exam by doing exercises. So if they do like 120, they will get 2 points plus in
I gotcha.
Three
Right.
points. Right.
But
So
do you think a lot of these kids, they probably want to go to the university and maybe be doctors or something like that, so they're going to,
Well, yeah, some of them.
They're gonna-
do. Otherwise,
so they'll probably work harder, right?
yeah,
Because they have to get a higher grade on their matriculation.
that's true. Yeah.
Do you find many of these kids have tutors, private tutors?
I don't think that they have,
No.
not yet at least.
Doesn't seem that common here.
Yeah, it seems that it's bit going that way, but then all the society is like fighting against it, since that would mean that if somebody has more money, then he or she would get.
Better grades.
Yeah. And that's what we are fighting in Finland, and not to go that way. And actually, I'm one coordinator in this school to coordinate tutors from our students to other students who needs help, and that's it doesn't cost anything. And
Really?
Yeah.
You mean tutors within the class or another class?
Within the school, so I can have the 11th graders to teach the 10th graders.
But when do they do this?
Well, when they actually have time.
I mean, they
So
have
I
during
can-
their free time? Their free,
yeah, sure. Yeah. So,
and that's completely voluntary because they don't get credit, right?
yeah, that's true.
Do you have many kids that will do that?
Well, I have now I have about 10 tutors
That will,
in mathematics and sciences.
and they're willing to come in 2 other classes and help
well,
out?
they get one course, and then they get a.
Do they get credit for this, for helping out, or is it strictly voluntary?
It's voluntary, of course, but they get as a reward they get a course, and then they get a paper that says that I've been involved in this kind of action, which is something that might be good to give in
For their university?
for a workplace. Like I'm going to a shop to help people. So
Okay.
if I have this kind of paper that I've actually done this
Right.
before, so it would be valuable.
I got you.
But yeah, it's voluntary. They want to help.
Interesting.
And in between, they also learn themselves very good.
Right, because they're teaching others
Because
and
they're teaching others.
redefining those things.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, and well, it's something that we've been developing during the year. I know next year it's growing.
Does the director or principal come in very often to check your lesson plans and see what you're doing?
Never, ever.
Really?
And if he would do that, then I would probably throw him out.
Really?
Yeah, that's not the point. He's not the freedom I have is the one thing that makes everything happen. So every teacher in Finland, they have the national curricula, but that's it. How do you actually think it's done best? It's up to you. And that's it's a huge resource, since then you can pick the things that you think that it's good for you and good for your students. Some things that are good for these students are not good for my students. So then I can fix it. Anyway.
Do you design a lot of your own lesson plans, or are these come like ready to go? Like the stuff on the board, is that out of the book?
That's out of the book.
Okay.
So if I had time, then I could probably plan more.
But it's quite time. It's a lot of time to plan your. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
You can plan. You can easily teach math from the text.
Yeah.
Right. The exercises in the text would be sufficient for the kids to learn.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. At least in this subject, this is hard enough for them, I think.
Right.
So.
So that's how you teach.
That's how I teach.
Yeah.
Yeah, how I should be teaching is like seeing other books too and fixing the best, But then it's again, I haven't got that much time.
Right.
This is my first year here, and I've never been in upper secondary grade before.
But you taught in the lower secondary before.
Yeah, 1 year. So
1 year.
I'm in the beginning of my career.
Oh, okay.
So I have a lot of things getting my time. So.
Yeah.
But in the end, it could be, yeah.
Because like in my school, I don't think you're considered to be a good teacher unless there's a scripted objective and the kids have to do this and this and this and, and the principal comes in to make sure that's. I don't see that to be the way it is here in Finland.
It's not really. If I would do that, then it would be for the principal.
Right.
Not for the kids.
Not for the kids, because the kids probably don't care, right?
Yeah, they don't give a shit. So, yeah, really, that's the point.
Right.
So that makes me actually plan lessons so that they can learn. And that's the main issue.
Right. Okay, thank you. So it seems like the teacher probably did about 15 or 20 minutes in the front teaching the lesson, and then the rest of the time, again, he just seems to move around from student to student and ask questions, or basically the students ask him questions.
Nyt se on toisella puolella 0, joten sä voisit käyttää kenties vaikka.
Ladies, I want to ask you guys a question. Your teacher told me he doesn't give much homework, right?
Never.
So do you do a lot of homework on your own to make sure that you get a good grade on the matriculation test next year?
I do.
You do. So just on your own,
Yeah.
right? But
Some teachers give homework.
do some teachers give a lot of homework, or
No,
not?
no one.
It's not so common in Finland.
Not in high school.
Well, let me ask you this: did you get it more in lower secondary homework?
Much
Yes.
more.
Much more in lower secondary than upper. Why do you think that is?
I think in high school, teachers think that we will do something. They don't have to force us. We are here to study, so
Let me ask you this: at night, normally, on average, how much homework do you have in all your classes per night? How much time about do you reserve?
time.
An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours?
An hour.
An hour?
I study a lot. I think so.
So is hour considered a lot of study at night?
Hour or two.
Right.
We have many little tests per week, so I usually study to tests. I don't.
How about you? How much time do you spend at night studying?
Maybe hour or two.
2 hours maybe?
Yeah.
When you were in lower secondary, how long was the homework there?
About the same time.
An hour to two?
Yeah.
Would you say the same thing?
No, maybe a half hour.
Of homework per night? But you told me they gave more homework in lower secondary than here.
It was very easy
Oh, it
for
was?
me, so I didn't do. I usually when we have a test week or
Right.
a test, and I didn't do anything on the lessons or home. I just did many exercises before the test.
Did some teachers give more homework than others? Or all of them gave about the same?
About the same.
Really?
I think.
Yeah. And let me ask you here, because in like Asia, it's quite common the kids go to private school after their normal school, and they have tutors. Extra math, extra physics, extra English. This is not common here, right? Once school's over, you go home, right?
Yes, you can choose extra courses, but
No, I'm talking about like going to a private school and getting a tutor to help you with
No,
math.
no, no.
It's not a common thing, and
No.
with your friends, you don't hear about this, right?
no.